Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So I was told to pull a rune and an emotion. So we got Uruz. It came out in reverse and I immediately turned it around and I wasn't even thinking. It was just kind of like, and I was like, oh, that's not how you look at it. And I just turned it around, which is looking at like weakness, uh, decay, maybe resembled to health or a situation in general. And I think the fact that I turned it around real quick is we don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to think that this behavior, this action has anything to do with X, Y, or Z. We're trying to push it off, neglect it like it's no big deal. So we have complaining and disconnected. Uh, Obviously, anytime, the majority of the time that I do emotional readings, they're going to be triggering. They're going to be, I don't want to say negative. Depending on who's listening to it, it'll feel negative. Uh, Regardless, complaining, anything and everything in my life, maybe not to that extent, but it's a burdensome. It's a problem. I don't like it. Uh, just really in the very beginning, I was drawn to when I saw that word to qualify that as a weakness, and I didn't want to because I knew that would offend people. But when we think of complaining, that uh, we're to an extent, wouldn't that be needing someone to validate us, validate our pain, our suffering, the burdens in our experience? We need that sympathy, and we need it from the external. Sure, we could complain to ourselves, but it's going to hold a lot more weight energetically when someone sympathizes with that situation. We don't. We need that to prove to us that we have a reason. It's okay to keep doing this. Yeah, life sucks. Whatever situation it's connected to, I need this. And this decomposing or this death, I want to say death, but not in a physical sense. It could be pretty drastic, but let's just look at it on a very surface level of just always kind of a negative Nancy situation. Uh, that death is continuously is us continuously observing our circumstances, our situation, the world that we see, as continuously reassuring us that everything keeps getting worse or keeps not going our way. Through that process, and us but embodying that, and us physically saying this to the external, and people validating us back that yeah, that does suck. We're gonna believe that. We're embodying that. That is our fucking experience. That 100% is proven to us, and we're seeking that validation through this idea of sympathy. I'm not sure that we know that going through it, but we are trying to validate the way that I'm feeling inside. That I like this sucks. This just happened. Now this happened. Now this happened. It always comes in threes, or whatever the story is. I am constantly sending this out to the external to have it to prove to me that that it's right or it's fair for me to feel the way that I'm feeling. And through that, I am creating a worse of an experience. And I may not be aware of this because we never would be until we start waking up to the idea. But there's so much power in this, and this belief, and this uh, perception and validation process. The mirror is our experience. We are co-creators. Turning that off is powerful to eventually see. Our next word was disconnected. Disconnected from what? From our ability as co-creator. Disconnected from the point of a further experience in life than just as we may have perceived it. I don't know how you would have made it to this video, and I'm not quite sure how many people actually watch these more negative undertone videos. But to leave that experience is the beginning, really harnessing this energy and making a transition. And I'm not saying it's going to be a light switch. It's not a quick change overnight, but we can see it when we start actually paying attention to our energy, which is our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and transforming them to actually have the experience that we would desire. The opposite of complaining is resolving. That is this process. And the opposite of disconnected is flow. We may see everything as a resistance at this period. That's why we would be complaining. It is not easy. It is not going as we wish. It is not comfortable. It is not cushy and cozy. It's resistant, or I should say, we're feeling resistance to our experience because we don't want it. We don't like this, whatever's taking place. By changing this, uh, our perception, our energy, how we're utilizing it, everything flows. It's actually flowing right now, but we're experiencing it in a negative sense. It is. We'll get into it deeper, I'm sure. Here we are again with disconnected. Look at this as a spirit card, our connection, our energetic connection. It's upside down. We can look at this as infinite energy to ourself, our soul, our chakras. You can see here everything is flowing in the upright state. Look at this: God, source, divine, universe, spirit team, angels, deities, gods, goddesses, whomever we are subscribed to, believe in, a higher power, a higher self, a higher mind, whatever it may be. We are all part of it. And we all have these energetic signatures, if we will. And when we can only be an energetic match for what we're vibrating at, what we're emitting, what our energy is. This is a lower vibration, if we will, and we're going to naturally attract people that are like that as well. And it's kind of like buddy buddy, Hey, we got a lot in common because we're both fucking complaining all the time, or we're both going through these shitty situations. We're going to continuously be reminded of our experience or that energy because we are it. It is just proving to us, it is validating us what we are experiencing, what we are feeling. People often say, if you want to be a higher, I don't know if the word influential or not influential, a higher status individual, you start eating and drinking and shopping at those higher establishments because that's your energy. But if we're always going to Sharp Shopper or Ollie's to buy things because we're feel broke or we are broke, uh, that's our energy. And all the shoppers there are that energy as well, sadly. But in that experience, we're surrounding ourselves with this energy. Uh, I don't know how possible it is in certain situations. I do feel anything is possible. But even those living situations, when we're in a very uh, low or high density experience surrounding our home or where we live, infestations, all these types of things, these energies, they keep us there because we feel like we are there. We are it. It's just validating our experience. This is no different than our words, what we watch, what we consume, what we eat. We are it. It is everything. This really just started off on our words and changing this to change this co-creation, but really view yourself in every aspect of your life around you. And obviously, if this is a thing we do, uh, you're going to have a story for every situation in your life. But we can continuously complain or we can do something about it. And what I'm saying to do doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take up any time. You do it every day. It is just catching it or being mindful of what your thoughts are and making that transition if you actually want to change, but if or want a change in your experience. Otherwise, you are welcome to stay where it is. But I think you want to change. We got 3 here. First card out was the Hierophant. Belief. This is it. This is the game. This is our perception. What we believe to be true is true. It always will be. We could believe something that is so far-fetched, that is the farthest thing from the truth. And if we believe that wholeheartedly inside of us, it is our experience. It is so true. It will prove to us. It will be real, 100%. The the change, and depending on uh, whatever we're complaining about, whether it is just everything and anything, or it's very focused on a certain situation that is creating a lot of hardship for us, that will be the hardest one to change at the time. Start with something smaller. Start with something easier that uh, to see this process unfold. The next card was the Ace of Cups, Awakening. Through this, we will see. You will understand that I have more power in this situation than I ever knew. That I can change things just through up here. And it's not that light switch. It is this belief and this validation and this mirror, this co-creation. Putting those puzzle pieces together and start monitoring. Every time something bad happens and you want to say something about it, let's just get it down to you're just bitching to yourself. Let's not run to anybody else. Let's not post it online. Let's not immediately pick up the phone and call somebody or text somebody. Let's not go to the store or to work and make that shitty comment that it's raining or that it's hot out or whatever. That's the easiest one. Everyone complains about the weather. Just try to stop a little bit. Catch yourself when you're saying it and see how the rain stops or see how the price changes. The Hanged Man. New paradigm. This is a new view of how everything is intertwined. If you actually wanted a change and you actually wanted a better experience, a better life, better health, whatever it is connected to, when you start to do this, you're going to see it happen quickly. Again, it's easier to start with those smaller things like the weather or just creating this resistance to not gravitate so much to get that sympathy of the situation, to validate that, yeah, this sucks, I pity you, or man, you just always have bad luck, or whatever it's connected to. Slow that down. Whatever the trigger is, whatever the motive, whatever your first action is when something bad happens, try to pull that back. Like, because we're going to have to wean yourself off of it because it's a habit. It's so embedded in there. So whatever the end result is, like I said, if it's talking to people and getting that validation, pull it back to just complaining to yourself and then eventually remove that. Or if it is just a situation in general and you still need that, then just start with the weather or whatever we're complaining about. I don't know. The Eight of Swords. Self-defeat. Underneath belief. Trying to change this will be extremely difficult. This belief, because as we all know, what comes out of my eyes, or I should say, what I see out there that comes into my brain is my proof, is my validation. No different than what I hear, what I feel and touch, and what I taste. That tells me what's happening. Uh, to have to change that inside first to eventually see it change out there is extremely difficult. And that's going to be really hard. And I'm sure we would complain a lot during that period, say, this doesn't work. This isn't working. Everything out there is telling me something different. Remember, that belief, it could be so far-fetched from the actual truth, but if I believe that so heartedly inside, it is true. And my experience will prove to me that. But that comes as a choice, and that is up to you to make. Our last card, or it looks like we got two. We got the King of Pentacles reversed, irresponsibility, and the Six of Cups reversed, release. I'm looking at this as it's coming through. Obviously, there's wounds, insecurities, limiting beliefs, beliefs in general that were either adopted or given to us as a child or throughout life and our experiences. It is our choice. Granted, they happened in the external. The external, something happened, somebody said something, and we molded ourselves around that experience to survive, to protect ourselves, to feel safe in some way. At this point, if we want a better experience or life, it is our choice and our responsibility to correct that within ourselves. The external is not going to change for something that we are identifying with or holding as a belief. We must change that within us for the external to reflect that. Otherwise, it will constantly prove to us what we believe to be true. I'm going to leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.